So that is what merge and center is. Wrap text, we might have a really long product name, and we might go in there and our product name is really, really long, and you can see it goes all across all these other cells. You can see now that this heading name is actually behind color. We might not want that. We might want to show the entire heading. So all you do is you click on that cell and you click on wrap text, and it will widen that cell to show everything that is inside the cell. So for instance, if you have really long names there, you can't see the whole name there. If you click on wrap text, you can see it now shows English product category name. And do all my changes. So that is what wrap text. It just wraps the text and widens the cell to show everything. When we get to this section, this is the number section. So if we highlight this section here, this is text, you can see the format of these cells is general. If, for instance, we wanted to do a calculation, these would have to be a numeric value if we wanted to maybe do a calculation on this. So what we might need to do is actually go and assign it a different format. So we have multiple formats. You have general, you have number, currency, accounting, date formats. If you're working with a date field, you'd want it to be a date format, percent, etc. So here we would want this to be a number. So we click on that. That is now assigned this as a number field. These are also general. So we'd want all of our number fields to be number format. You can even use a currency option. So you could go down here and you could assign dollars. That now has made that a currency field. So let's put the little dollar icon. If you're in a different country, you can assign whatever country you want. For instance, I'm in South Africa. I can assign it as South African Rand. But you can go and change the settings to whatever you want it to be. So that's what the formatting is. If you were working with a percent, you would want to make it a percent format type. Okay. The next section here is styles. So conditional formatting. What conditional formatting is you want the cell to highlight according to whatever the value is. So if we were looking at conditional formatting, you can have specific rules that if something is greater than 10, make it green because we're happy with that. Or if it's less than 10, make it red because we're not happy with that. That's a problem area. Or you could have, for instance, if something is a negative value, make it red. If it's a positive value, make it green. This is an involved topic. I will be going through each and every one of these in my follow-on course to this course, where we'll actually define rules. But all you need to know about conditional formatting is if the data has a certain condition, in other words, if it meets a rule, you can make it a certain color, you can highlight it, you can shade it, you can have specific icons. So you could have your traffic lights show a green traffic light. If it's a positive, for instance, if it's 0, show amber, and if it's negative, show a red traffic light. So this I get into in a lot of detail on my next course. As this introduction course, you just need to know what it does. It highlights a cell according to a rule that you've put in. Formatting as a table, we might want to make this a specific table. We can go and say, all right, we want our table to look like that, or we want it to be that color. You can go and define different themes to highlight your table. And then cell styles, here you can go and say, for this heading, I want it to be heading 1, and it'll go and highlight according to that font and underline it in blue, or you might want a heading 2, heading 3. This is just a shortcut, so you don't have to right-click and go and do a lot of formatting to get it to a particular look and feel. You can just click on this and it'll automatically apply to that. So instead of having to right click, go and change theme colors, go and change the font, the border, whatever you want, you can just go straight onto this and choose heading 1 and it'll apply that automatically. Here we have all of our cell shortcuts. So here it's saying insert. So we can insert rows, we can insert columns, or we can insert a sheet. So in Excel, each one of these individual tabs is a worksheet. This is a worksheet. Here we have a worksheet. And if we look at this entire Excel document, that is a workbook. So a workbook has multiple worksheets. So we can click this little plus icon to add a new sheet, or we can go to here and we can go Insert, Sheet. And you can see it's added a new sheet. If we want to highlight a row, we can go here and we can say we can say Insert Sheet Rows. We click there, it's inserted another row. Or if we're there, we can go Insert a Column. It's inserted another column. So for instance, if we wanted to add a column between color and this product name, we could go Insert Column, and there's the column. Or we might want to insert a row here. We can go Insert Row, and then it's inserted a row. Again, you can, right click and you can use all the shortcuts, but we're going through all of these items. On delete, it does exactly the same as what we've done. We can delete a column. So if we were here, we decided we didn't want that inserted, we wanted to delete it, we could delete column. And if we were here, we could go delete row. And that would delete the row. Format. Here you can define your row height, your column width. So here you can make your column wider. You can make that 20. You can see it 1 bit. You can go and format. You can rename the sheet. You can move or copy the sheet. Move or copy. You can just say create a copy and move it to the end. So we're making a copy of sheet 1. We go OK. There you can see sheet 1, number 2, because it's a second copy. And if you wanted to delete that, you could right click on the sheet and delete. And that would delete the sheet. You can rename it. You might not want it to be called sheet 1. You might want it to be called data, for instance, data 2. You can do that too. Then, in this last section, this is the formula section. So if we had to go right to the bottom of our worksheet here, we might want to do a total on this. So here it says AutoSum. We click on that. Automatically, Excel is clever enough to highlight the entire row. We push enter, and there's our total. So here's where you get all of your formulas. We might want to know what is the average of it. So we can click on average. That'll give us the average, 41. We might want to count how many numbers are in that column. We might want the maximum number, the minimum number. So these are all shortcuts to do formulas. You can also do formulas across a row. So we might want to do an AutoSum that way. Push enter, that'll give us a total going across. So that's very, very powerful. Fill. If we're going here and we're saying, let me go all the way to the top. If you want to go to the top, you can push Control and up. It'll take you all the way to the top. We might say this is item 1, this is item 2, this is item 3, this is item 4. Fill means if we highlight this, we want it to keep filling 5, 6, 7, etc. So you can use the fill option here to automatically do a series. Or you can just drag the corner down like that, and it'll be clever enough to follow the series that you're currently doing. Clear. You can clear everything. You can clear a format. So in other words, if we've gone and we've made this yellow, if we go to clear and we clear format, that will clear the yellow. If we clear contents, that will clear everything. If you have a hyperlink or a comment, you can clear those too. So that's what clear does. Sorting and filtering, we're going to get into that in the data tab in detail. This is just a shortcut to it. Here you can sort your data from largest to smallest or smallest to largest, and you can filter your data, but we'll get into that. And find, this is just to search the document. So in a nutshell, that's basically what we can do on the Home tab. A lot of these items do appear on other tabs in more detail, so we'll get into more detail like on the filtering and sorting on the data tab when we get to that later. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.